I swirled the bourbon in my glass, the rich amber catching hints of gold under the soft lights of the reception hall. Around me, the celebration pulsed. White linen elegance, polite chuckles, and carefully veiled animosity behind designer smiles. My ex-wife held court in the center of the room, her laugh sharp, rehearsed, echoing among her curated crowd. Our eyes met. She hadn't expected me here. Her new husband, smiling and oblivious, had invited me, unaware of the chapters she and I once shared. "You came," she said, her voice cutting through the room like a blade wrapped in silk. "Didn't think clerks got invited to parties like this." Her circle tittered, fingers clutching their wine glasses like ornaments. I didn't blink. Her new husband turned to me, curious. "And what is it you do exactly?" I took a measured breath. "I'm an auditor." The room didn't go quiet. It froze. Her smile wavered. Her friends went rigid. It all started years ago, when she and I were supposed to be building a life. We were young, dreaming big. I worked late, trying to make something solid. She played host to our social life, arranging soirees like auditions for a life she wasn't sure she wanted. I turned down a relocation to stay close. She spent those nights messaging other men. "You're boring," she'd spat during one argument, eyes blazing. "Where's the spark?" I told myself it was the pressure talking, until I stumbled across the truth. Texts from men I knew, one of them a close friend. She'd written, "He's so naive. He'll never catch on." She was right. For a while. I found the messages by accident while using her tablet to order food. I didn't react. Not right away. For months, I pretended. Kissed her in the morning. Brewed her coffee. Packed her vitamins into neat pill cases. At night, I did what I do best. I investigated. I documented her messages, cataloged hotel stays, tracked rideshare logs, and photographed banking transactions. I hired a private investigator. Paid in cash. I turned her life into a case file. My role? Compliance. She always thought it was mundane, forms, emails, boring routines. But my specialty was forensic audits, unraveling webs, spotting the lie in the ledger, building airtight cases that couldn't be undone. She never realized how good I was at staying invisible. When I filed for divorce, she laughed in my face. A little drunk, a little smug. "Finally got a backbone," she scoffed. But the laughter faded when the paperwork came through. The assets she expected to claim were already gone. The condo under a trust. The investments transferred to a sibling years before. The car lease through my firm. All legal. All irreversible. She was left with little more than memories and mismatched furniture. She tried to fight it. Her lawyer quit after seeing the documents. There were agreements she'd signed, embedded in innocuous paperwork years ago, clauses that sealed her fate. She painted me as a villain to anyone who'd listen, but they only heard her version. Time passed. She remarried, this time, to a tech entrepreneur gunning for federal contracts. His firm came under audit, and they needed a consultant with clearance. Guess who showed up? I never mentioned her. I wore a tie she once gave me, shook his hand, and reviewed his financials. She was in the room, silent, until tonight. "Wait, auditor," her husband echoed, visibly thrown. Her fork tapped against her plate, hands no longer steady. "I thought you just shuffled paperwork," one of her friends said with a nervous laugh. "I do," I replied. "Mostly investigations. Fraud, offshore accounts, identity falsification, divorce cases, too." I spoke plainly. Let the silence do the work. Her husband looked at her, something shifting behind his eyes. "You two knew each other?" he asked. "We were married," I said simply. The impact rippled across the table. Gasps, side glances. She froze. I took another sip of bourbon. "There's a name for what she did," I added, my tone calm but deliberate. "Deception, manipulation, financial abuse. It can cost a lot in court. Sometimes more than money." She paled. "You wouldn't," she whispered. "I didn't," I replied. I moved on. Then I leaned a little closer. "But I did come across some discrepancies linked to your new venture. Some accounts flagged for further review. Could be harmless. Or not. Might want to sort that out. Her husband sat straighter. She stared at her plate like it might offer her a way out. "Why are you doing this?" she asked, barely audible. I smiled faintly. "You once told me I was replaceable. Just another cog in the machine. But even cogs can shut everything down if they stop turning at the right moment." I stood, straightened my jacket. I should get going. Early day tomorrow. Reports to finish. Systems to clean up. I left him in stunned silence, her carefully constructed world beginning to wobble. Later, on my balcony, I looked out over the city. The skyline blinked peacefully. I didn't feel triumphant. This wasn't revenge. Revenge is messy, emotional. This was something else, surgical, cold, precise. She thought I was dull, forgettable, but I don't create chaos. I erase it, trace by trace. And when I'm finished, there's nothing left to fix.